My guest today is founder and CEO of Good Boy Multimedia, full service specializing in video storytelling of any form and AV installation. These guys grew a team of over 40 members. He's also founded Adamark, which is a nonprofit organization investing in the youth entering into the audio video industry. And he's helping them build and scale their own businesses. At the end of the day, he is known as Billionaire Dan. He's an innovator. He is an executor in his field. And as a personal note, I'm lucky that this is my younger brother. How's it going, sir?
What's up, boss? How are you?
You know, we are good, man. So, man, I want to dive in, as you know, that we are here helping people become what they imagine in their mind. And so oftentimes people struggle at becoming. And so you are a blessed man. So I got a question. Was it always this easy, Doc?
No, not even close. My actual name of my business is Good Boy Records. My DBA is Good Boy Multimedia. I started off doing music. I have a very strong passion for music, and I always had an ear, but I was fundamentally challenged on the ability to play certain instruments. But I can hear, so that meant that I needed other people to fulfill my dreams. Now, I think that that's still true to me, needing other people to fulfill my dreams. But once the money didn't come fast enough, the guys that I was working with or partnering with decided to seek other work. So I had to figure out how to pivot with the skills that I did have, which is like organization, feeling, to find a different way to make value of myself, and not have as many people to do that. So the product that I used to produce was a sum total of everybody, so I had to make a strong decision if I wanted to keep going in this vision for Good Boy Records to be a big company. What else can we offer or we do that can relate to my passion, that will allow me to be able to reach the people that I needed to reach? So I end up going into media. I don't know if you ever paid attention, but when you look at videos or movies, everything is being switched and transitioned to some type of beat. The storytelling comes with some type of emotion. So I had,
right?
yeah, it's a soundtrack. I know many people download soundtracks from different movies. You create a certain drive in the motion and in the sounds that you hear. That's why, one, I don't want to get too off topic. You have to make sure you not feeding yourself too much that you're not trying to reproduce. So you can't be listening to a bunch of trash music about killing people and shaking butt only, you know what I'm saying? Because that's not helping you produce what you need to produce. You're feeding your spirit. And right. you don't want to feed yourself, because you're walking around, mad, and then you want to see some type of activity that's going to be distracting to your actual goal.
Right.
But getting back to the point, everybody left me. I mean, I picture myself just crying off of growing pains and feeling like I lost what the vision could be, not knowing that God had a different plan and that it still can be implemented into what he had for me. It was just one of the things that he gave me to help make me who I am today. So if you're down or feeling by yourself, you got to know that it's all going to work out for your good.
Right.
Like everything is happening for a reason. Like the struggle or pain that you're going through right now is to help mold you to the person that you have to be to make the certain type of decision that you have to make for where you're going.
Right. So would you say that the struggle in finding yourself may be dependent on other people, and that the struggle of not being able to produce what you want was necessary for you to try to figure it out in another way to build the team?
Well, I didn't immediately build a team. I had to figure out what complemented the skill that I already had that I can then get compensation for. So that's how the music moved over to the movies or the videos, because it complemented the skill that I had and the learning how to create a atmosphere or a feeling. So it was pretty easy for me to learn camera technology, because I serve in a church, and during the church, they had to make videos, whether it be announcements or live streams. So I was able to practice through my serving, and that gave me the experience that I need in order to move on and get paid. Once I figured out what it took to get paid, it's like, okay, now how do I duplicate what I've mastered? The duplication of what I mastered makes it to where now, having 40 employees, I don't have to, it's not just me. I'm not capping out on what I can produce and what I can do. So as the demand grew through my duplication, now I can do 5-6 jobs at one time, and I can charge more because of my resume and the people that I have worked with.
Right. So I want to back up a little bit to there's a drive in you to in the space that you're moving. For some people who may be out there as that solo person, well, how did you get that drive to want to build to the capacity that you are building?
It kind of stemmed from me being alone, that other people who are trying to do stuff for themselves, but if feel like the insecurity or don't have it all the way together, being able to connect or partner with someone else and give them hope or a different value or view on life is very, very rewarding. So it's almost if the next like-minded person, the next person like that had the same mindset as me as being alone, if I could pull them out of them feeling like they're alone, do something together. And one of my sayings you see on my Instagram is Good Boy CEO, we are better together. We are a stronger front. My knowledge plus your knowledge makes us a stronger body, a stronger mind, a better decision. So it's like, you don't have to be alone, because you're not the only one that wants to be, I don't know, a plumber, that wants to be a photographer, that want, what I'm saying? So you're not alone.
Right. That's good. Right. So how did you get that the understanding? Because a lot of people don't see themselves working with others, and you work in this isolation, this hustle mentality, and when that hustle gets exhausted, what I'm saying, there's a potential of stagnation. So would you say, if I'm trying to look into your mind, the thing for you, if you wanted to tell somebody what you went through, how do you galvanize that type of drive?
Well, I can say this, that once I did figured out how to, start monetizing my skill, I was killing myself. Like, I was overworking myself. I was exhausted. I was biting more than I could chew, because, people would ask me to do something, and then I wouldn't say no, because that means I'd be getting paid to do it. And I was just capping out, I think 1 year was like best year of my life. I did like $80,000. But I'm like, if my brother Matthew Jones, he does insurance, and he asked me about disability insurance. If I hurt my leg, it completely takes me out of the ability to do what I do. I'm a videographer. I can't walk. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, I need help. I can't. I need a coach. I need a partner. I need a mentor. I need to be able to broaden my ability to produce.
Right.
And once I realized I need to broaden my ability to produce, I did so well out of the pain of being left alone.
Mm.
So I tried to overcome, like, yeah, I don't need these guys. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Like, I can do it myself. Then me trying to do it myself put me in a position where, like, if anything happened to me, it's over.
Right. Right.
So it's like, okay, now I need to stop being immature, figure out who else has talent or feel like me, and see if we can partner and become even greater.
Right. Right. How do you think you got over that? Because you clearly made a decision to build something. How did you get over? And I imagine, because I know you're very talented in many different areas. How did you get over indecision? Meaning either whether that's indecision from you got too many different areas, or you just didn't, a person that's not committing. How did you uh, decide to pick a route in multimedia and just move?
Well, I stopped talking to people who didn't have anything going for
Mm.
themselves because it's so much doubt in people who have something consistent to the point where they don't have to lean on faith or their vision. So it's like, when I bought my first camera for $2,000, it's like $2,000. You know what I'm saying? That's
Hmm.
absolutely crazy. You know what I'm saying? To
Hmm.
spend that kind of money on a device that has the potential to make you money. You could be, invested into the stock market.
Hmm.
Which, it could be true, but that's not my thing. It's
Right.
not my area of expertise, and which was fine, but it was where my passion was. I like to make other people feel special. I
Mm.
like to make other people's visions come to life. So through that drive, it gave through that passion, it gave me the drive to produce without worrying about the money or the input that it take for the product.
Right.
After I start producing good product, word of mouth happened. Like, you partner with this guy, he gonna give you all he got, regardless of what the pay is. Because the pay is what the agreement is, but it doesn't change the product. I was never the guy, okay, if I gave you a $200 discount, I'm not gonna go the extra mile for you.
Right.
When you work with me, I feel like we're in partnership and it's our brand on the line to produce. It doesn't matter how much we decided that we was going to agree on with the finances. It's about me being honored to work with you and you being satisfied.
Hmm. Right. You said something because we're looking. There's principles in the way executors think, and one of the things you said is a passion or a desire. One of the things you said that is a passion and or a desire was to see somebody else succeed or to see somebody else's story be told.
Yep.
Uh, would you say how much weight is on purpose and the why to keep a person moving?
Man, it's crazy. I mean, the drive. I mean, your why is the pilot. Like, like your why is everything. It keeps you going. I mean, now I've been married for 6 years. I have 2 kids. The lifestyle that I see in my mind for them, I have to produce money in order to give them that lifestyle. So that's a part of my why. The why in the fulfillment of feeling like you can work with a young black man, and it doesn't have to have so much going on that you can't trust them. We got excellence in the minority, because that's a social norm that's
Right.
not possible. Um, being a iconic or a representative of God, a Christian, being able to say, hey, you can be successful with the principles coming from Christ, and you can live a life that's fun and fulfilling without like drugs and like all these other distractions. Like, so it's almost like I was spending time trying to prove myself, prove what the word said was possible. Because all you see in success is either just sports, raps, rapping, or drugs. But there's so many other businesses, so many other billionaires we don't know, doing so many other things that have a passion behind them that just grew because people attach themselves to movement because they want to go somewhere as well.
Right. You talked about mindset and principle. What are some? Obviously, a lot of it is based in the Word of God. Is there anything that rings in your mind, principles that you kind of move by or live by that kind of help drive you?
Um, Faith without works is dead. I mean, you can dream and have a vision and see something in the spiritual realm, but if you don't put yourself in position, you don't give God something to work with. It's like, okay, what you want me to do? Like, I was talking to one of my close friends. He works at a gym, and I was telling him, I said, "Hey, bro, if you lead a gym, I'll give you X amount of money and this device, this asset, to try to keep it bland, to keep it general." Um, he's like, "Why? This is God, but tell me why." I'm like, "You're distracted. There's too many opportunities for sin. There's too many. It's too consistent for you to feel like you can do anything else or anything more, and you're not giving God nothing to work with. Only thing He can do is elevate you to a different leadership position. You're not in a position for Him. You're not giving Him anything to give Him the life that He promised you.
Hmm.
You're not giving Him anything to work with. Your whole day is gone. Your mind is locked in on nothing related to Him. Where's the glory in what you do every day?"
Right. No, that's good. I think the principle you used was faith without works is dead. And so I want you to define, because people have a misconception about work and what it means or what it entails. Right. And anytime anybody builds, they need to, and if we're trying to get people to build, let's define what work is. What is work?
Right. Absolutely. So, work is not sleeping on yourself. Work is uh, doing what people don't see, the sweat equity, like maybe getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. If your goal is to work out, or your goal is to lose weight, to work out before you have to take care of your responsibilities. Work is going the extra mile. Work is investing in your value. Your value, I always say, the more you know, the more you're worth. So your value is based on you investing in what you know. So the work, I'm a short guy. I'm not like super strong built. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like cat. So I always had what they would say, the little man syndrome.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm like,
Mhm.
in order for me to compete with these guys that are taller, I used to love basketball. In order to compete with these guys that are taller, I had to have heart. I had to work harder. I had to run 4 steps for the guy to do his 2 steps, to get
Right.
to the basket. So it's like, you can't take that away.
Yeah.
And that's seemingly a character trait from Hustle. But we also said that you got to have some type of efficiency
Mm.
in what you do. You want to make sure that you're not doing busy work, or you're not like running into a wall. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? You're not being effective. You want to run through the door
Right.
to get to the other side. You
Yeah.
want to run into a wall, hurt yourself, and have to rebuild yourself and start running into a wall again. So that's
Right.
where the clarity comes, and the mentorship, the previous experience, the investing into a coach, then to the investing into a program that have the kinks worked out, to drop in the pride and say, hey, you know more about this than I do. What can I take from you that you learned in the last 5 years that can take me from ground zero to 5 years of experience?
Right. Right.
On paper, I just started in 2024, but after communicating with you or after paying for this course, now I got 5 years of experience.
Right. That's good. Yeah, yeah. You actually step into a whole nother element of there of investing in buying time because you're buying experience in that particular regard. And a lot of us need to understand that process. What would you say? One of the things that I think I admire about you is I see from a distance there's a hunger, right? And I don't know if many people have hunger, right? It's almost like there's option to hunger. Like how vital is that hunger for everything that you have to
Right.
when I got this 4D Mark IV, my man.
Yeah,
God,
you gotta
yeah.
invest in them, boy. You gotta invest in that clean. I
Yeah.
see my output. Oh yeah.
uh how important is that hunger uh to actually be able to accomplish what needs to be accomplished?
Man, the hunger is something that I don't know. I can't even tell you where I got that from. Um, like, so I'm just giving you an example. People allow their personal life or what's going on with them to affect their ability to produce. When you're in the field of service or of service, I'm in the field of service. When you're in the field of service, you can't allow what's going on personally to affect your business. So you have to put yourself in position to where whether you are able to do something or not is able to get done if you agree with something, for something, to do something. Going back to the hunger and the drive, I want it. I want it so the next guy don't have to do what he don't want to do. Like on my website, on our mission statement, we stop people. We're the transition from people doing what they do for money to doing what they love to do. So like, if you're a school teacher and you know that the school teacher salary is $50,000, and you know $50,000 plus the other income that you got is going to give you a comfortable lifestyle, but you don't enjoy getting up every day and going to school. You know what I'm saying? That's not your passion. That's not your dream. It's not fulfilling you, or you don't like how the work environment or how they're treating you, but you too afraid to do anything else because that money is there. So like, I got to drive for them people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have, you talking about Adamark. I have a nonprofit called Adamark, and basically we teach kids photography and video, which is just a trait, a skill trait. A skill trait, is a skill for a particular trade, and then in that particular trade, you can get money for that skill trait. So I had an opportunity to learn photography and video before I had responsibilities. So what I'm trying to do is meet people where they are and give them a trait to where they don't have to go to wherever they don't want to go. Teacher, the plant, anywhere, anything they don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? So if I can give you a trait, that give you opportunity to create money for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So I want people to be able to create opportunities, and you only can do that if you have some type of skill.
Yeah, it's interesting as I'm listening to you talk. I think is to be aware for anybody trying to build something. The tone of your communication is about bigger than you, helping somebody else, and it tech connects to the principles that are it's better to give than receive. You follow what I'm saying? And so I think it's beautiful to think bigger than yourself is the only way you can acquire things that are bigger than yourself. So how much of a role does that thought process affect you? And more so, what do you see is maybe from the people that you've encountered, how has not having that process or thought process affected their ability to be committed?
Well, my business is multimedia, but what we actually sell is trust. And you can trust me. You can count on us. You can depend on us. I build a brand to where if someone walks in a building with a camera and that shirt say Good Boy Multimedia, they're not worried about whether their product is going to be good or bad or whether they're going to perceive professionalism. So I say that to say, like, that comes from the spirit of excellence that I learned from church. And the bigger than me concept came from my the principle in giving to my leadership. So now God knows that he can trust me with finances. And I'm selling trust. Mm-hmm. So if I take what I've earned, reinvest and take care of God's house, now I solidified that trust with God, and now I have opportunities that reproduce to solidify trust between me and the client. And now I have the power and authority to go help that person who didn't have the opportunity or that don't like what they're doing, and give them opportunity to help them give the confidence to make that transition to not do what they don't want to do.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. Now you know it's interesting because you've had a couple opportunities to teach, and I think you're a teacher at heart in there too.
that was a real map. Like, oh my God, that was a real map.
Right. So if somebody's starting in a bad place, they're stuck, they're in the valley, right? And they're getting all this motivation, and they have these wishes. Let's call it wishes at this point, right? And they want more, but they haven't, having all the resources that are necessary to produce more. How would you walk a person through what they need to have if you just had to, freestyle to galvanize that?
You need to have optimism. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to feel like that is possible. You can't be down on yourself. You can't, you play a spades game and you get a bad hand. There is a way. There's a way to win. There is, like, I'm a problem solver. Actually, you taught me this. Problem solvers get paid. So you gotta understand that, okay, you might have an obstacle or you might have the bad cards dealt. You're in a situation to where, that's not possible, but anything is possible. Impossible. The word says I'm possible. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you can't base where you at on where you could go. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, where you at right now don't mean that you can't be, who you called to be, or you can't make it to the dream. I don't know too much about Tyler Perry, but I heard that he was homeless and standing on the street at one point. Now he's a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? So you can't feel like what you're going through right now determines what you can be. And I wasn't that good in school. I'm not the best, still working on, not the best comprehender or a reader. You know what I'm saying? So that didn't mean that I couldn't be where I wanted to be. I mean, I had to work a little harder. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to decide how to evaluate my time. Do I want to pay now and play later, or do I want to play now and then pay later? Do I want to, not have my responsibilities now and enjoy that, or do I want to give myself responsibilities before I have responsibilities so that when they come, they didn't mean nothing to me? Like, so you can't distract yourself. You have to stay focused and feel like that is possible.
Yeah. So the number one biggest thing is optimism. If optimism is the first step, what would you say first step 2 is? So optimism is belief. So if optimism is the first step, what is step 2?
After optimism, I say, what does it take for you to get a small win? What's one step closer to your goal? And it's hard to be really descriptive without knowing what the person's goal is. But if your goal is to get a car and get a license, you know what I'm saying? What can you do with the position that you're in to help you get one step closer to that goal? It could be Googling on my phone the rules of the road.
Yeah.
So preparing for the test before the test comes.
Yeah.
It could be like sweeping up hair until I get enough money for a deposit on a vehicle. So, like, that goal may be so far-fetched, but what step can I take now that gives me a small win, that gives me one step closer to my actual goal?
I love that optimism. And then what is the next step to get one step closer? It reminds me of a building that is being built.
Right.
It has to be built brick by brick,
100%.
right? And so, but every brick is another set of success. Every brick is success. And I
Yeah.
think many people who that I work with, that I coach, that I guide in business, uh, I think that is so true. It's the overwhelm of thinking that you have to have it all done right now that
Right.
often
Perfect.
distracts people from going, and nobody's there to celebrate them because they actually got in the office and then decide to watch the episode or get
Yep.
distracted. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? So I love that optimism and then the small wins. It brings me to the next question when you're talking about small wins. Help people with the concept of time. How long does it take to build something, right? Because there's a misconception of what it takes to actually build anything. So help us out with that.
Okay, so I started my company in 2010. 2022 is when I made my first $1 million.
So wait a minute, let's stop. So it took, I usually say we don't think in days, we think in decades. So here it is, right? So, and that's really good because this is 12 years where you start something in 2010. It took you 12 years before you hit, I would imagine, one of a few goals that you
Yep.
had,
Yep.
right? And I don't know. I'm sorry I interrupted that, but I thought that was so that longevity of time. We have to ask ourselves, what have you spent 10 years doing?
Right.
How many people do you know can't answer that question?
There's a lot of people that can't answer that question. I mean, because one pivotal point in me in my life was college. No one told me what to do when I got to college. Throughout high school, grade school, there was so much structure that I had to follow suit. College, you could pay $4,000 for a class and be on your phone. You cannot go. You can be distracted, and no one's gonna even say anything to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you were only cheating yourself. So well, the most important thing when you're setting up your life when it comes to college is doing your scheduling, being ahead of the curve on what classes are available when you want to go to class and be available. Right. So it's like you need to decide, commit first, and then focus. Follow that one course until it's successful. Right. Like try to put yourself in a position to where you're in the best position to be able to do whatever you're trying to accomplish.
Right.
Like you're in it's free volition. Like you can do what you want. You can say what you want. Like, so it's up to you to get what you want out of life every day.
Right. And to bring it home, the most valuable asset, as you say, is the time. We have time.
Yep.
But I think we need to be reminded that we're going to use the time anyway. You follow what I'm saying? And when we start and we stop things because of something, some struggle or something, we forfeit the time on task that we spent. And so it's commendable to have spent 12 years or now 14 going on 15 years, right, to build something. Because many people think it happens overnight.
Yeah. But you also, and when we're going back to the optimism, you got to feel like you can do it. If you see somebody else successful at something, that means you can be successful at that same thing. Not in an envious way. It's just that they had the same 12 hours in a day that you got. I mean, for 24 hours in a day that you got.
Right.
So, and it's like, I can do it. Like, I don't know if I need to gain the right connections. I need to get personal confidence. I need to get like some compassion. What needs to contribute to me, like
Mhm.
whatever input, whatever I need to put in my jar to fill me up to
Yeah.
get me to wherever I got to go, I have to seek after that.
Right. I want you to look at all the people that you encounter, the people that you even want to help to build, that you see their shortfalls, their weaknesses, specifically men. If you had to sum maybe one or two words of things that you see as missing and what they have, what would that be?
Well, the one word would be God, but
Mhm.
even when
That's a
you
good.
it's everything starts with a thought. So like I would just say God and faith. And then you have to control your thinking. Like if I know we talk vaguely about like surrounding yourself around people who are successful in certain areas or who have some type of other energy or motion going towards something else successful. It gives you the confidence that it's possible and it can happen. If you look at your closest 5 friends, it's like you can kind of see where you at and where you're going. 5 close people in your life, like it don't even have to be friends. You can be close to anybody, with experience, in anything, and the things that come out their mouth based off their experience will affect your daily life. Like I got a friend. He says before I met him, I never said this, but he says gang,
Mhm.
gang like
Yeah.
GANG, like
Mhm.
so. I find myself saying, "What's up, gang?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I got that because someone
Right.
around me says that. You know what I'm saying? So not that that's a bad thing, but that's an example of
Hmm.
how the people around you affect you
And your thoughts. Yeah.
and your thoughts.
Yeah.
That's why one reason why I go to church too. You come with like-minded believers, and you gain the principles that you need that will actually fulfill the different components that you need to go wherever you got to go.
Right. And I think everything that you said we are clear that the need for God is absolutely mandatory and necessary to get these thoughts, because that's what the word of God is, to bring the correct thoughts. And many people who I see that struggle, it is directly related to how they think about, you know what I'm saying? If you going back to even not having optimism, or which is disbelief, or
Yep.
not knowing that a small win is a win,
Yeah.
right? Not knowing that it takes work, or it takes time,
Yep.
effort, and attention,
Yep. Yep.
and focus. All these things are related to understanding the principles that have been taught to us,
Yep.
and gives us that drive to produce, and embodying these
Yep.
is really where it's at. How can I embody
Yep.
these thoughts and
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 apply
you?
it.
Yeah,
Yep.
right. Well, that's kind of what it means. If it's in my
Yep.
body, you know what I'm saying, it's in my rhythm. And
Yep.
so that is absolutely amazing. So really, let me ask you something really quick. If you, at your current self right now is 2024, what would you say to yourself at 2009
Okay.
before you got into it? What advice would you give your younger self?
Um, don't reason your way out of the decision that has to be made to get to your goal.
Hmm.
You can always give yourself a reason. We go easiest example like losing weight. I want to, be more built and in shape. That means I got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning because I already got a full schedule. But I can reason not getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
I'm gonna be too tired for my work day, or that's too early compared to the social norm and the people around me, and uh, it's gonna take extra gas to get to the gym, and I'm not gonna have the energy to do it when I get there. Those are all different reasons why I'm not doing what it takes, giving myself the input to get the output that I want.
Yeah, that's powerful. That's powerful. That's powerful. Doc, man, I'm proud of you, man. I don't know if you have any last thoughts or statements, because that was pretty powerful right there. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to close the window on you if you have anything else. Is there anything else that you would say? Again, our target is I really have a heart for men. Um, and I think we all have an opportunity to build whatever is inside of us. And we're doing our effort to give people the thoughts and the behaviors that are necessary to draw what God placed inside of you.
Yep.
And so, is there any final things that you want to leave off that we might not cover?
I mean, I would like to say to any man who's watching that you have everything already to do what you're trying to do.
That's awesome. 100%. Doc, I love you, man. I'm proud of you, Doc. Good Boy Multimedia. Go to it. Good Boy Multimedia. You'll find it in the description. If you need storytelling, videography, or an audio visual installation, you got some facilities that you need some stuff done. This is the guy that you want to connect with and communicate with and ask about his nonprofit. Maybe he can help some of your youth out to get to the next level. All right. Love you, man. We'll see you guys on the next one.